Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer.
I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm only an engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm just an engineer.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For me to do that intro, I want to thank you. You're the 1% of the 1%. If you're clicking on this video, you already know half of the story, but I'll just give you a quick debrief if you don't. Mutahar has spent the last 10 years of his time on YouTube essentially lying to everybody, saying he's some type of engineer, whether that's a computer engineer, a technician, a film editor, all kinds of things, a cybersecurity engineer.
Engineer now. I think I know how this shit fucking works.
Speaking out of an engineer, like if I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot. But as an engineer, yeah, I'm going to call him a fucking idiot because he does do idiotic statements.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer,
and he doesn't do YouTube. YouTube is not his main job, is what he's been saying to everyone for these last 10 years. Maybe that's true.
Hey, YouTube isn't my job. Thank God my job isn't YouTube.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job. YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
I use YouTube as a hobby. This is not a job for me, okay?
But he has addressed the allegations of him lying about being an engineer. And I just want to watch the video with you guys, or the small section where he covers that topic, because he makes it about a minute long. Not even really an apology, if I'm being 100% honest.
If you want to stick around, awesome. If you still feel wronged and this does not suffice for you, then I don't really give a fuck. Simple as that.
But before any of that, over 98% of daily consumers to this channel have yet to subscribe. If you could do me the huge favor, hitting that sub button, I greatly appreciate it. And with that, let's get into it.
I know there's been some drama, and I want to kind of address things here really quickly. So obviously, I have been calling myself a engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you can call it.
Not just cybersecurity engineer, but expert.
And, you know, I apparently have also been a dropout, which I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer. Now, I made a lot of videos in the past where I've taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of this stuff, and I think that content stands up on its own. And I believe it...
I mean, yeah, of course it stands up on its own, but the problem is that when you were giving out information, you were using appeal to authority. He was making himself an authority figure in these, you know, fields, or in coding or in security or in cybersecurity. You can say that, hey, I'm not an expert. You know, this is an advice. Don't go, because giving advice on the internet or anywhere, you can be held. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the rules are in Canada, but if you're telling people what to do or how to do things without an expertise, or if you're just a novice or a hobbyist, or like you can be an expert in the field but not be licensed, you know, you should let your audience know that, you know. But it was very misleading what he did for a very long time.
Actually can be used, you know, and people have learned from it. And I think that's great. Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then for that, I do apologize. And I will...
See, he's not actually apologizing. That's a very sneaky way to apologize. He's like, I'm apologizing that you feel bad. You feel a certain way about it. This is fucking insane levels of fucking trying to convince you that, oh, my bad that you're in your feelings about me lying to you. Not, I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm sorry that you feel bad about me lying.
If you feel offended...
If you feel offended, he's not saying, he's actually not apologizing. This is not an apology. He's saying, I'm sorry that you're offended. Not that I'm sorry that I lied.
If you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then for that, I do apologize. And
Yeah.
I will denigrate myself to, you know, I guess programmer or a fat Indian guy that knows a bit about computers. That's what...
You should have led with that always. You should have never even left it up to speculation of what you did or your expertise. You know, my background is I'm a technician. I repaired, you know, circuit boards for like arcades and for appliances. I have technical work in. I've been a repair technician in for motherboards and for motherboards for appliances and arcade systems like the the key masters and all those things that you see at like movie theaters and stuff. But I will never say I'm an engineer. I'm a technician. I repair them, but I will never be like, oh, I can tell you how everything exactly works. And even if I could, and some of those motherboards, I can tell you how they work and, the relays and where, power is going first and everything. But I would never give myself a title that I do not have. I did that for many years. I did that for 10 plus years. Now I am partial owner of a construction company. I've talked about this before. And I also have my own production where I create content for social media, people that are looking to expand their social media. But I don't have a degree in anything. I didn't go to school.
I'll leave it at. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Now, again, if you want to stick around, awesome. If you still feel wronged and this does not suffice for you, then I don't really give a fuck.
This is the most damning part. Like, to not care, to essentially be like, I've been lying to my audience for this long. This is probably going to be really the undoing of Some Ordinary Gamer or Mutahar. The part where he doesn't care. You can't trust anything this guy says from now on, because at no point he has no accountability. Anything he says, by him saying, well, you know what? I honestly don't give a fuck that I've been lying. And if you want to stick around, cool. If you don't, how can we take your opinion seriously when so easily you're just like, well, you know what? I did say that, but who gives a fuck? I mean, it comes back to the Nintendo Switch thing and, going against his friend, Nuxtaku or whatever. I'm not sure who he is. But like, he so flip-flops on things so easily that it seems ungenuine, right? You don't know what Mutahar actually believes or what his actual expertise are.
Simple as that. Now, again, that being said, if anything else comes out of this, whether there be some legal stuff, then I'll just let lawyers handle it and we'll call it at that. But that being said, I want to move forward.
Alrighty, so this is the important part. The lawyers and stuff is what I wanted to talk. So if you don't know, and if you haven't been watching what's been happening with Mutahar or Some Ordinary Gamer, in Canada, I guess where he's from, you cannot ascribe yourself a title like engineer or lawyer or doctor. You cannot bestow yourself that title on the internet or, basically fake being in this specialized field of study, whether it's engineering or it's, a doctor, lawyer in where he's from in Canada. It is a no-no. I think that is a crime. It is technically a crime. And I do believe a content creator has reported Mutahar to the authorities, not the authorities, but like whatever the bureau is that gives out licensing for engineers, to let them know that this guy's been falsely claiming a specialty he does not have. And that's why he's being very blasé about the whole thing. But this could end up, really biting him in the butt. I mean, I'm not sure what the penalties will be, if it's fines, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I get it. And everyone should know everything on the internet is fucking fake. None of this shit is real. The majority of the stuff you see on the internet is 100% entertainment, and you should treat it as such. This is the majority of people are, just regular people. They're don't have a parasocial, situation with the people you watch, because they're just people in the end, and humans will fuck up and will make mistakes. I'm not even telling anybody to not listen to Mutahar or don't watch his channel. If you find enjoyment or information, or you find whatever, if it gets you off, whatever you're getting from Mutahar, if you still continue to get that, cool. I don't want him canceled. I don't want him anything. I just think it's absolutely hilarious when people like this get exposed. It's good to realize that these people, the majority of the internet is fucking phony. Giving out your opinions. The problem is that people want to have their opinions verified. You want to make it seem like you're an authority figure. You have the right to talk about X subject because you're an authority figure. I do not give a fuck. I will talk about whatever I want on the internet whenever I want. I will never claim to be an expert in X thing or Y thing to, give me a reason why I can talk about it or why I should talk about it. I just think it's cool or interesting, then I'll talk about it. And that's one of the problems. He was attacking Elon Musk.
Engineer now. I think I know how this shit fucking works.
Speaking out of an engineer, like, if I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot. But as an engineer, yeah, I'm going to call him a fucking idiot because he does do idiotic statements.
suggesting to his audience, the reason why I can attack this person is because of my background, you know, because of he couldn't just say he doesn't like him or he thinks he's an idiot or whatever his opinions are on Elon Musk, but he had to preface it by saying, no, I am an authority figure in this field, so my opinions are valid. You know, don't question what I'm saying. Just understand that I'm right because I do have this background, which is absolutely crazy. More than that, also another thing that I wanted to, you know, I wish he would have addressed what does he do from 9 to 5? Like he's gone on podcasts and said a lot like, hey, I managed to make put out a YouTube video a day and I have a full-time job. YouTube's not my job. I put out a video once a day after working, you know, 8+ hours a day. Impressive, right? But he might not even be doing that. So it removes that mystique of like, he's a fucking grinder. He's out here hustling. He works the 8 hours. Then he gets back to work after on YouTube just for the lulz, just because it's a hobby. It's most likely his main job. I wish he would have addressed that. That's what I really wish he would have addressed. The fact that, is he grinding out of control? Is he this like needs to work 24/7 guy? Or does he just make YouTube videos? Does he have an actual company that he needs to be at 8 hours a day, you know, in his office chair and then come home and make YouTube? I just don't believe it. But I'm not sure. You know, let me know what you thought about his apology. I'm not sure if it really was an apology. You know, he stuck it in between a longer video. I think very tactful, you know, to say, no, yeah, I addressed it. Yeah, go watch X video. I mean, I don't know. It didn't really seem like an actual apology to me. It seemed like kind of just trying to wash away, you know, the fact that for the last 10 years he had been lying. But comment down below. What do you think? Are you going to still keep watching Mutahar? Do you enjoy his form of entertainment or his breakdowns of things or subject matter or topics? Does this not affect your opinions on Mutahar at all? You just going to keep rocking with them? That's cool. Comment down below. Let me know. But I absolutely think it is hilarious that this guy waited a week to basically say, yeah, I just been lying. My bad. I think that's absolutely awesome. It is the fucking, you know, I don't even know if it's irony, the insanity of this, the world we live in, you know, the fakeness of the internet is absolutely awesome. I enjoy it every day. I hope these things keep happening. It is hilarious. I mean, I am here for it and I enjoy it and I watch it all the time. But that's all the time we have for now. I'm going to try to be more consistent once again on posting. I do have 2 other jobs, actual jobs that, you know, you can look into if you want, but whatever. But that's all the time we have for now. Hopefully you liked the video. If you made it to the end, thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell so you never miss a clip. Till next time, later.